Yes, yes, come on, let's do it. Classic, a true classic, guys. Sky High is a, I just, you, you can't hate Sky High. It doesn't matter how cheesy and how basic and how simplistically, annoyingly indicative of this kind of high schooler film it was for the noughties. It's just so good. But that's not the point of this video. We've got to talk about how we can improve it and redo it. And frankly, I'd really prefer seeing another version of Sky High with a different cast over seeing another version of, A Babysitter's Guide to Monster Hunting or The Secret Society of Second-Born Royals. If Disney need to do something else superhero related but on their own terms instead of on Marvel terms, then please don't do any of that again. Just do like another Sky High. I'll accept it. I'll try and struggle against any new castings, but I'll manage it, okay? Compared to those options. So, Will Stronghold, a classic leading guy, unsure of himself going into high school. He's got this best friend girl that he doesn't realize she's the one he should be with. He's got this older girl who he wants, obviously, because it's Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Fair enough. No, fair enough. And he's got all these other people around him, and he's quite unhappy with himself for not living up to his father's expectations, because his father is the most famous superhero in the world, and his mother is the most famous. Anyway, I wanted to cast Judo Lewis as Will Stronghold. Now, quite simply, I found similarities between Will's character and the character that Judo Lewis played in the Babysitter films. It's quite similar, and the nerdy exterior he has in high school in the sequel, it came off a lot like that, and he did gain confidence in a lot of ways as that film went on, the sequel. So I like that, and I like him, and I feel like, look, the kids that played the teenagers in the original film didn't mostly really look all that much like teenagers, I thought. I'm not sure if they were ridiculously old or not, but I wanted to try and cast people who were still teenagers for the most part. So Judo Lewis, I think he's 19 now. He's still easily able to look like he's in high school. So I thought that was nice. Then his best friend Layla Williams, Danielle Panabaker originally, great, went on to actually be in the CW Flash show for years. She's still on it. So she was, she didn't even ever come off as that nerdy in the film compared to some of the other sidekick characters. And you always knew with her set of powers that she could quickly turn it on and get herself bumped up to the other class, but she just never did, because she's such a pacifist. Until school's under attack, of course. I wanted to cast Sophia Lillis. That seemed like a no-brainer to me. First of all, she was playing a kid with superheroic powers, a more modernized version of something like Sky High, in I Am Not Okay With This. And then it got cancelled, and a lot of people were not okay with that. And she is still 18, 19. She is still young enough to be playing this. And I do feel like she'd update the character. I'd like to see more of Layla as a character. I feel like she is there to be this love interest that he doesn't realize is a love interest until right near the end. And she's all like, and she's so modest and she's such a pacifist. You want to see more of that character. You need to see more of that. Make her the lead. I don't care. Whatever. And Sophia Lillis would do a lot of aspects of that really well, I feel. Gwen Grayson, or Royal Pieman. Royal Pieman. Yeah, no, she is the older girl. She's like a teaching assistant or something, but she's also still in high school. She's meant to be older, and therefore we can get away with casting slightly older. Mary Elizabeth Winstead can't have been a teenager when the film was right. She did not look like a teenager. Doesn't matter. No, it's... The thing is, we're casting actual 18, 19-year-olds for most of these roles. So there's a limit to how old you can cast her still looking like she's in high school with these people. But she does distinctively in the original film look older. So it's a balancing act here. I'm going to cast Kathryn Newton. Because Kathryn Newton, quite simply, her role in Freaky was her being body swapped with Vince Vaughn playing a serial killer. So it's this older, male, murderous person in her body, and she's doing the acting of that. That's exactly what Royal Pieman is. It's what happened to Royal Pieman. So perfect. So what you're saying is perfect. And also Kathryn Newton does. She was still playing a high schooler in The Map of Tiny Perfect Things. That came out like 2 months ago. So I like to believe she still looks young enough to pass it off. And she is obviously very attractive and all, and will easily become enamored with her, and that's her whole plan. That's a whole thing. And yeah, no, she's literally perfect for that, based on previous roles. Warren Peace is a role I find it very hard to cast. He is the son of, and I always find this very strange backstory. He's the son of a supervillain, and I think a super heroine, a female superhero, and a male supervillain. I don't want to say the obvious about what that backstory makes you think about, but wow, like there's something really dark lurking potentially in the background of his origins that we just don't talk about because it's a Disney film. Anyway, I did, in the end, give up trying to cast another 18, 19-year-old, even though he is in their year, the same year as the me and kids. Because I think it's quite possible with his attitude problems, he has just been held back, so you can again get away with casting someone that's like 21, 22. I'm going to cast Tanner Buchanan. Cobra Kai. Need I say? I don't think I need to say anymore. After I looked at a lot of 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and I couldn't find someone who looks and feels like they could play this darker character who turns out to be pretty cool at the end, you know? He is, nearest I could find, and I think he'd be really good at it. Ethan Bank is, you know, you don't want to say it. Okay, you don't want to say it. Because the lessons about, oh, these people shouldn't be designated as sidekicks when they also can be superheroes. But some of these guys, they cannot be superheroes. They do suck. Will and Layla and Warren, was Warren ever in the sidekicks class? I can't remember. All three of them, proper superheroes. Their powers, great. The other three that we're about to cast, Ethan turned... it's just a terrible superpower, and he turns into a puddle when he wants to. That's awful. I'm going to cast Kill McLaughlin. I just feel like he's reached a stage, and so have a lot of Stranger Things kids, where they look like they are comfortably still in the younger side of high school, even though they're all like 18, 19 now. So that's good. And I feel like this nerdier role is right up Stranger Things territory. Ethan is probably the nerdiest of all of this group, and he would be great at that. Madge, or Magenta Lewis, she turns into a guinea pig. Not a useless power, but I do feel to see how she's going to be a leading superhero on her own with that power. It's not good. I'm going to cast Isabella Mercer. She just... Madge comes off as very much the nearest you get to a proper emo-y goth style about her. And Isabella Mercer often plays characters who not necessarily fully that direction, but as close to it as you get with modern roles, I think. Zack Attack. Also, no. 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 Let's cast Asher Angel. Asher Angel plays the young Billy Batson in Shazam. So, the kind of confidence he comes out with in that is what you want. That's the kind of confidence that Zack has, but this time he shouldn't. He should not. No. He just glows in the dark. That is his superpower. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. You know, it's bad. But Asher Angel would make that, at the very least, funny. He'd be a good comedic side character without being annoying about it, I think. Lash and Speed are two bullies that, you know, maybe aren't all that necessary. But they're interesting to have in there just from the perspective that they join up with Royal Pain. Really, gosh. You should really have a careful screening process for who you're teaching to use these powers. You should really be trying to make sure better in high school that a bunch of them aren't just going to immediately turn to supervillainry as soon as they get an opportunity to, but whatever. I like the idea of casting these two. I'm not sure if they're meant to be in the same class, maybe as Gwen, instead of the younger ones. But I'm going to cast them as the younger ones. I'm going to cast them around the same age as them. So Lash, maybe Finn Wolfhard. Again, just same thing as Gil McLaughlin. I don't like to cast too many from Stranger Things all at once, but you've got a whole high school to fill here. Come on. He's just good at that. In It, his role was very much this annoying, kind of irritating, quippy character. That's kind of what Lash is. He's stretchy and he's just an annoying bully dick. I think he'd do that quite well. And then Speed, Julian Dennison. Yeah. 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 Did I mix those two up? I don't think so. He's already got the experience playing this young, volatile, supervillainous kid in Deadpool 2. It's just really easy to cast him there. Principal powers. I'm not going to worry, because this would be a really long video, about casting every single teacher. But Principal Powers was originally played by Linda Carter, as a nod to her having played Wonder Woman in the past. And I thought that was a really funny thing. And it'd be fun to cast another really badass, actiony woman as her. So I'm going to just Jamie Lee Curtis. It's Jamie Lee Curtis. Finally, you need to cast the Commander and Jetstream. Yes. God, you know... It's such a memey pair of roles, especially Commander. Super memey role, Commander. So I didn't actually want to cast people who have played superheroes a lot. You know, it felt wrong somehow. What I do want to do is cast Mark Wahlberg as the Commander. Why? It's not so much about the legendary status. That's what Kurt Russell had. That's why it was funny that it was him. He's the greatest superhero in the world because he's such a great action star. He's one of the greatest in the world. It's not about that. It's about the fact that this really memey superhero role is similar to what Mark Wahlberg did in Scoob, playing Blue Falcon. That's literally what it is. It's the really memey, I'm the greatest superhero there is role. That's exactly what it is. But also, the other half of this character is the father to Will, to a teenager. And Mark Wahlberg, surprisingly enough, has gone to the age where that's really not unfeasible. Are his real-life kids teenagers? They might be by now. He's like 48, 49. And I just feel like, in things like Instant Family particularly, he's been really, really just good. Just good at that. He's just been really good at those roles and having a bit of drama in there with all the comedy in that kind of role. So I think he's perfect for that. And then Jetstream. I'm casting Isla Fisher. I feel like Jetstream didn't come off as memey because she was the stricter parent the first time around. But there's a lot of these more modern comedic films that manage to allow both parents to be like that, even if one or both of them has to have stricter moments. They get to be like both quite memey. And Isla Fisher hasn't played a mother role in a huge amount of films, I feel, but she did in Tag. And while there was no parenting going on, she was just this insane, crazy, hilarious, mother age kind of person. And I think she'd be so funny as like a superhero, playing it similarly, but also doing a bit of parenting, having to have those stricter moments. And she as well is great at... Oh wait, Godmother. I was trying to think, she did a role, right? She did a mother role recently. It was that. And she had her meme moments and also her heartfelt moments. I don't think it was good, but, you know, she had it all. So perfect. That's all for this one, guys. A pretty super cast. I hate myself. But subscribe if you don't hate myself. And lots of other fan... Guys, this is like I've been counting, there's like 81, including this fan cast now. So if you liked this one, there's so many more to check out. Go do it.